Hello and welcome back to the Commander Lurpack YouTube channel. Today's video will be a Warhammer 40k battle report of Imperial Guard versus Harlequins, 1750 point game using the Tempest of War missions. Hope you enjoy the video and see you at the end. Right, so this is my force, 1750 points of Astra Militarum. Well, Imperial Guard. I've got the regimental trait Valhalla, and leading my little expedition is of course the man himself, Commander Lurpack. He's backed up by Platoon Commander Gibb. And then we have a tank commander in a Lehman Russ Punisher with heavy bolter sponsons as my other HQ. Then heavy support, we've got another Lehman Russ Punisher with heavy bolter sponsons. Then we have a Lehman Russ Eradicator with heavy bolters. And then we have 3 Taurox Primes with Gatling cannons and autocannons. Then we have a Chimera with 2 heavy flamers, with 4 Bullgrins with Bullgrin mauls and slab shields. And then we have a heavy weapon squad of mortars. Then the most feared unit, as Tom well knows, is a 20-man conscript squad. And then we have 5 infantry squads. Now, thanks to the new rules, I have fully pimped them out with everything that they can take for free. Happy days. So all the sergeants have got plasma pistols and power swords. They've all got voxcasters. And then we got 2 with plasma guns, 1 with melter gun, and 2 with flamers. And then they have 3 missile launchers and 2 heavy bolters between them all. Lurpack has a plasma pistol and a blade of conquest. And he also has Kurov's Aquila because he has spent an extra CP to ransack the armory. And I'm giving my tank commander tank aces weapon expert, so it's -1 AP and the same.
Sure.
Yes.
Think about my army for just a second.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's not worth it, is it?
No. Give it something else.
It will have some other fitting tank stratagem that I don't know what it does. That's my little list. Let's see what Tom's laughing boys are up to. So, take us through your little force, Tom.
Okay, so here we got 1750 points of Dark Harlequins. So we got 2 HQs. Got the Troop Master, who is the Warlord today. He has a Caress and a Fusion Pistol. This chap here.
That chap there.
Yeah. So he's got a Caress, a Fusion Pistol. I've given him the Suit of Hidden Knives Relic. I've given him the Fractal Storm Warlord trait. And I've given him the Veiled King Pivotal Role. So he's fairly upgraded. Then we've got a Shadow Seer. That's the lady with the staff and the long purple cloak sort of thing. That's the one, yeah. She's just got her staff and her pistol, no upgrades. But I've given her the Mirror of Minds and the Veil of Tears psychic powers alongside Smite. And then in our troop slots, or should we do all the guys at the front first?
Let's do all the guys.
So on the left we've got a Death Jester. Oh. On the left we have a Death Jester, and I've given him the spent a CP to give him the Harvester of Torment Warlord trait, which means 6s explode when he shoots. And then I've got a Solitaire who hasn't got any upgrades. He's just come for the ride. We have filled out our troop slots. We have 6 troop choices. They're a bit hit and miss. It's all WYSIWYG, but going from left to right, so we've got a Kiss, 2 fusion pistols, 2 caresses and 1 embrace in the first squad. Then the second squad has a Kiss, a Neuro Disruptor, 2 fusion pistols, 2 caresses and an embrace. Squad 3 has a Kiss, 2 fusion pistols, 2 caresses, an embrace and a Neuro Disruptor. 4 has a Kiss, 2 fusion pistols, a Harlequins caress and 2 embraces. Squad 5 has a fusion pistol and a caress, another fusion pistol and an embrace and a Neuro Disruptor and another caress. And then the last one has a caress, there's 2 caresses, 2 embraces, no fusion pistols in the last squad.
A lot of caressing going on.
Yeah, caressing, kissing, embracing, you know. all good stuff. And then we've got fast attacks. We've got a unit of 6 Skyweavers, and they've got Haywire Cannons and Zephyr Glaives. And then we have 5 Star Weavers to transport the squads and the characters about. And that's the list. And it's 1750 points on the dot.
Mine too.
So that's pretty cool, isn't it?
How exciting.
Unless you know I've done my maths wrong, which is a high possibility.
So we are going to play Tempest of War.
Oh, yes.
And we're going to do some card stuff now.
Yes.
Find out what's going on. So, the mission that we are playing today is Claim the Battlefield. We've got deployment of Crucible of Battle and a special mission role of Vox Static. And this is the board that we are playing on today. So we've got an objective here, an objective here in this building, an objective over here in the street, and then we've got an objective down here by this building, and an objective over there by that building. And that's all of them, isn't it?
That's all the objectives, yeah.
So this is the board we're playing on. And now we're going to roll off for deployment.
Yeah, so you deploy us first, and then we'll roll for turn 1.
Let's have a... So, Tom has already beaten me. Game over.
Sure, I'll stick my army down first then.
Yep. Right, so we have deployed our armies. Mine's a pretty straightforward deployment of lots of infantry with some tanks behind it. That's pretty much me, really. I was going to put some guys inside the Tauroxes, but after looking at the rules, we discovered that that's not allowed because only Scions are allowed inside. And my guys just aren't qualified. So, this is Tom's deployment.
So basically there's not as much terrain on this side of the board because we've got the little park in between the 2 flat blocks. So I've tried to hide as much as I can, sort of LOL out of line of sight or in cover or whatever, and then those 2 are just over there. So there's just there's 1 troop that couldn't fit in a transport there at the bottom, and then the 6 Skyweavers are there, and the Shadow Seer is there to give her aura. And then we've got this transport here's got the Warlord in it. This red one has the Death Jester, and then the blue one over there has got the Solitaire in it.
Very nice. I forgot to say that my Bolgrins are inside the Chimera.
Well, they will burn.
Hopefully not. So that's our deployment.
Yeah, should we see who's going first?
Yeah, let's roll off. So let's see who gets first turn. Looks like Tom gets first turn. It's been a great rolling so far.
Yes. Hopefully, long may it continue.
So we are starting on 9 CP for me and 12 CP for Tom.
13 now.
Oh. So, Tom, take us through what objectives you have drawn.
So, I got Investigate Site, which is doing an action in the middle of the board if your opponent's not nearby. So I'm going to keep it, but given that Liam has hordes of men, I might not be able to achieve that, so I might get rid of it. Then we've got No Retreat, No Surrender, which has got three kind of goals, and it's, I think I'll get that. That's scored at the end of Liam's turn though. And I've got Defend Stronghold, which is holding my home objective, so I'll get that at the end of my opponent's turn as well.
Building at the back.
Yes.
So, do you want to take us through your movement?
Yeah, so the Star Weaver that was over on that flank has just pulled up, so he's now sitting on that objective. The small squad of troops that was in the building at the back of my deployment, they've just stayed there because they're in range of that objective. And then the rest of my army's just jumped up to sort of this bridge area to get some shots into Liam's army. And then this this Star Weaver is the one with the Death Jester, because I realised that Liam's put Lurpack just in the middle of nowhere behind some men, so my sniper's going to have a go at plinking him off.
Outrageous. Let's see what happens in the shooting.
Psychic first, mate.
The wizard phase. So what happened in your psychic phase, Tom?
I had a very successful psychic phase when I manifested a power and then realised I was out of range. And then all my powers were out of range because my spirit seer is like 20 inches away from stuff and his powers were 18 inches.
So you just did some meditating.
Yeah.
So on to your shooting.
So my shooting, yeah. So
how did that go?
Yeah, a bit hit and miss.
Literally.
I did some cheating. So I did an extra shot of my Death Jester, and then I rolled D6 shots for my bike, so then you get D3. So that was good. So I did my shooting phase twice. But
Nothing
essentially
wrong with that.
Death Jester shot through at Lurpack. I was hoping to, if not kill him, maybe do a lot of damage. But he's got a
taken a wound.
Yeah, he's taken one wound because he has the Feel No Pain Warlord trait, which is quite handy. And then the
on
bikes.
Sniper Alley as well.
Yeah. With the bikes, 3 of them were in range of the Eradicator and 3 were not. So I split fire. The Eradicator and the Chimera. The Eradicator got blown up quite nicely. The Chimera was left on 3 or 4 wounds, I think. And then I basically shot the remaining Star Weavers at the Chimera because I thought we might blow up, and then I can shoot the Bullgryns when they get out. But unfortunately, that's on 1 wound.
You just like to tease it.
The Bullgryns can get out and punch me now. And then just the Star Weaver on that objective over there, just sort of shot through the gap at the other Lehman Russ this side, and I think it did a wound.
It did 2 wounds.
Or 1 wound, 2 damage, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm down to 10 on...
I figured 2 damage, better to shoot at something with multi-wounds than shoot at some infantry. Because I'll mop them up in close combat.
So quite a successful turn, really.
Yeah, that's it. I didn't want to charge anything or...
You pretty much dealt with 2 tanks.
Yeah.
So yeah, not too shabby.
Oh, and I spent a CP to fire and fade my bikes, so they've just jumped down. Hopefully that means
the Trixie Elder.
Yeah, hopefully that means you can't bring like the full bear of your payload to shoot me, sort of thing.
Mm. Shall we see what missions you score?
I don't score any.
Don't score any?
I didn't do this one, so this is I have to do an action in the middle of the board, and I didn't even attempt that. These two get scored at the end of my opponent's go.
Right.
So I think I should score them. But so basically, if you can make me fail a morale test, I won't get that. But that's kind of hard to do.
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, and then that one's holding my home objective, so I'll get that.
What do you mean? I'm going to send the conscripts on a...
They can't go 36 inches in a turn, can they?
I don't know. Move. Imperial Guard, turn 1. I drew these secondary objectives. Raise banner, no prisoners, and extend battle lines. I did draw blood and guts, but as that's close combat, I decided to spend a CP and get rid of it. So for my movement, I have disembarked the Bulgrins, moved them up, and then drove up the Chimera alongside them. This infantry squad has moved up. Lurpack's moved up to help give them orders. This infantry squad has occupied the building. My conscripts have moved up into this building and planted a flag on the objective. My Punisher's moved up to take some shots at that Star Weaver. Look at me getting names right.
You got the name right.
I know. Oh, no floaty boys today.
No.
This Taurox has drove across 14 inches to do some more shooting. On this side, my Limaras has stayed where it is, and the two infantry squads here have advanced up with the platoon commander, and this very pacey Taurox has drove through the alleyway for some point blank shots into that Star Weaver. So now we're going to go on to my orders and shooting and see if we can hit some Eldar Harlequins. All the same, see no scum. So we started off my shooting phase with some orders. The big man himself told these boys to do first rank, second rank fire at the Star Weaver, and they did a lot of wounds.
Yeah, they did. They got lots of auto sixes, didn't they?
Only with the las guns, the missile missed, and the plasma pistol missed, but everything else hit. And then this squad up here also got first rank, second rank fire at the Star Weaver, and they missed everything.
I thought, did they not shoot at the one on the balcony as well?
At the other one, yeah.
Yeah.
Other orders over here, platoon commander Gibb gave first rank, second rank fire to both these squads, and they shot into the Star Weaver with a moderate amount of damage. Then we went on to tank orders, and the tank commander down here did pop smoke, and it shot into the Star Weaver, did some more damage. Then we did normal shooting, so this infantry squad in the building shot into it, and I think they missed, didn't they? Oh no, they blew it up, didn't they?
Did they? Yeah, no, they blew it up.
Yeah, so the missile launcher blew up the Star Weaver, and the boys jumped out. And then the Taurox that was here, or that is here, shot at the friends inside and killed 3 of them. Is that right? How many in the squad? 4?
There's 5. 1 blew up getting out of the transport. So yeah, the Taurox split fire, didn't it? So it must have killed 3.
It shot its auto cannons into there, and then it fired its Gatling cannon at the chaps on the bikes and killed 1.
Killed 1. It technically killed 2, but I used my luck rerolls to save one of the bikes.
Very nice. Moving back round the board, me conscripts didn't do anything because they stuck a
They did
banner,
an action.
and this Punisher shot into the Star Weaver and did some wounds.
Yep.
The mortars didn't do anything because they claimed the objective.
Yeah, they done the action as well.
Yeah, one Torok shot into the Star Weaver and did some damage, and the Chimera also shot into the Star Weaver, and that's what finished it off. Yeah, the second Torok shot into the friends that got out and did some damage.
Yeah, so there's just the Death Jester left down there by himself. The rest of the squad was killed.
So that is the end of my shooting phase.
Yeah, fairly successful shooting phase, I think. There, plinked off 2 Void Weavers, killed basically 2 squads of troops.
I think the Weavers are quite important to get out the way, as I learnt in our last game.
Yeah,
because if you don't get the guys out, then they cause some devastation. So there might be a couple of guard charges.
Exciting.
Find out. So over here, I used the crush them stratagem and tried to run over Tom's friend. However, he passed all of his saves for my running over attempt, and then proceeded to hit me back and did 2 wounds. So I may have made
Yeah, 3 wounds, and then you roll 2 6s to block 2 of them. Obviously, they're 2 damage. And then this squad also tried to charge, but they failed, didn't they?
Yeah, the infantry tried to join in, but they were a bit more sensible and stayed out of it. So now my Taurox is stuck in combat, which is not ideal. But on the other side, we had a bit more success. So over here, the Bulgrins made a long charge because I used the head first stratagem, and I still had to use 2 CP to re-roll the charge because I failed. But they got in the end, so that's what matters. And they gave the Death Jester a bit of a bash about, but he's still alive on 1 wound. So they're locked in combat.
Yeah, I played lightning fast. He was -1 to hit, and then
That did make a difference.
yeah, you wounded me a lot, but I just invuns. I luckily passed a lot of the invuns.
And
I didn't do any damage back. So.
You used 2 CP to pass with your friends.
Yes,
The heroic
and
friend.
for one of my secondaries, I needed to not fail morale. So that squad over there that had taken 4 casualties, I spent 2 CP to keep him around. Yeah.
Right, so that's the end of my turn 1. On to Tom's turn 2. Be a bit quicker than mine. Right, so at the end of my turn 1, I've done 2 secondaries, raise the banners and extend battle lines, because I hold an objective in my deployment and 1 in no man's land, and my conscripts raised the banner. For no prisoners, I am 2 away, was it?
3 away, so you
away.
did 27 wounds on destroyed models.
Because we read that the multiple wound models, like vehicles, count as wounds rather than as a singular model.
Yeah, it's like points for wounds rather than a kill point.
Right, let's... So, Tom's objective phase. Command phase.
You could have just said start of turn 2 for Harlequins.
That sounds better.
That does sound better, doesn't it? Right, so I technically scored these objectives at the end of Liam's or Guard turn 1. So I completed no retreat, no surrender, and defend stronghold. So I get 10 secondary points for those. And then I get 12 primary points because I've got the objective in my deployment zone. Unless the Taurox is objective secured, which I presume is not. Yeah. So I've got 2, and then I claimed the one in my corner as well. So 12 points, so 22 points at the start of my turn 2. I've got overwhelming firepower, so I've got to kill 3 units in the shooting phase. And then secure no man's land. So I've got to control 2 or more objective markers in no man's land at the end of my turn. Let's give it a crack.
So on to Tom's turn 2. Oh.
I thought you were maybe going to be like, where have the Harlequins gone?
Oh, okay.
But you just sort of slowly went, oh.
You didn't say the talk.
Well, yeah. Well, okay.
Right. Where have the Harlequins gone, Tom?
Excellent. They've moved.
Then where did they?
They can move 22 inches and they have the fly keyword, you see. Right. So basically, the squad and the troop master jumped out of the Starweaver that was up here, and they've gone down there to hopefully deal with the Bulgrin. And then their Void Weaver has jumped over into the middle here to hopefully tie up some guard, shoot some guard and tie them up in combat. The Void Weaver that was underneath the bridge has jumped over to the back lines near the Tauroxes. The troops are still inside that one. That one doesn't need its dice anymore because there's nobody in it. The Solitaire got out of the Starweaver that was in, and he's gone over here. Hopefully he can deal with that tank. My Death Jester fell back out of combat. He's down here. I was trying to keep him sort of at the board edge, but he couldn't really, because of the position of the smoke and the tank and the troops, he couldn't really see Lurpack. So I've moved him up a bit further. And then the Skyweavers jumped over, so they're positioned sort of precariously in the skyscraper. I wanted them to be able to see the tank that's in the rusty manufactorum on the far side of the board. So hopefully they can deal with that in the shooting phase. And then potentially they've got some charge targets lined up as well. And then my final Starweaver that's still got his troops inside has jumped back over to that side of the board. To hopefully reinforce that objective over there.
I'm in trouble.
Oh, you'll be alright.
I feel like Harlequins are like cats.
Cats.
They just suddenly pounce, and all of a sudden they are everywhere. Like,
well, I think I have to, because I haven't got any of the I haven't got any of the Void Weavers, which are the sort of the longer ranged gunboats.
Yeah.
So with them, you can hide. You can hide in LOS terrain, and you can hide near the back of the board and sort of get firing angles.
Yeah.
My guys they're a bit of an older style. They're all the run at you, fight you in combat, shoot you with fusion pistols. But I think if you bomb forward turn 1 and you fail your charges and you don't tie things up, you're then in trouble.
Yeah.
Because as we saw with a couple of the squads that lost their transports, as soon as they're on the floor, they are toughness 3 Eldar, so they do die.
More vulnerable, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So it is a bit cat and mouse. You have to, because they're like hyper elite, you have to be careful.
Yeah.
Where you put your resources.
Quite valuable per man, aren't they? Whereas
you just have hordes of chaff.
I care about every single man in my army.
Tell me all their names.
During Tom's wizard phase, his wizard has struck down 2 Bulgrins with some fancy wizard stuff. So they're suddenly not looking as strong as they were before. And that concludes the wizard phase.
That's the wizard phase.
Quick little mid-turn summary. Oh, you're not plugged in.
I'm not plugged in.
Plug yourself in.
Oh, I'm in.
Quick little mid-turn summary. There's been quite a large explosion down here. So you shot at my Chimera with pizza and Clark.
Yeah, I think I've just sort of done a lot more damage to myself than I have to Liam. I finished off his 1 wound Chimera with a shot from the Troop Master. and it's just done a catastrophic explosion.
So it killed 3 of my guardsmen. It did a wound to one of my Borgrins. Killed...
You did 3 mortals to my squad. So I killed 2 normal players and then I took a wound on the lead player.
And then it did a wound to the troop master and 2 wounds to the
Shadow Seer.
Ah, Shadow Seer.
Yeah, so that was good.
So, little...
I mean, fusion pistol's pretty effective, right?
Yes, especially when you hit the fuel tanks.
Yeah, I must have hit the fuel tank on that one.
So we were just saying this part of the ball is very catastrophic.
Yeah.
We'll carry on. So down here, you killed another Bulgrin, didn't you?
Yep. So the remainder of that squad shot at the Bulgrin. A fusion pistol vaporised one and the other fusion pistol missed.
What's up next? This chappy?
Yeah, so that boat shot everything. There's a squad still inside it with a couple of fusion pistols. So fusion pistols did most of the work, but they shot and finished off that Taurox. The boat in the middle, that fired into the squad of guard in the ruin just next to it. I left that till last because I was seeing what it could shoot at, and that was sort of... I wanted this squad alive to be able to charge, and I want the conscripts for charging as well. So, yeah, they just shot into there, but Liam did.
I took cover in the building.
That's the one. So no wounds came up there, which is a bit sad. The Skyweavers shot down into the tank commander that's behind the ruin down here. And they did 10 wounds to it with a haywire cannon, so pretty good. A bit unlucky not to pop it, but
Still
that's
hanging
fine.
in there.
Yeah, over here.
What happened to my Taurox, Tom?
So the fusion guns in the boat blew up the Taurox, and then that Starweaver did try to shoot that tank again with its shuriken cannons, but didn't do any damage to it, I don't think.
No, I managed to make the saves, didn't I think?
Yeah, because you get 2 ups or 3 ups or 5 ups against shurikens, so that was good. And yeah, I did want to shoot the boat in the middle, but because this is obscuring, I couldn't technically see it. So,
Hiding.
yeah. But fairly good.
Yeah, that's
blue.
3 tanks down in one shooting phase.
Yeah, finished off the Chimera,
Yeah.
killed two of your tanks, and
this one's looking
crippled.
unhealthy.
Yeah, he's in his middle bracket because you're Valhallan,
Yes.
so it's not the end of the world.
Double my wounds.
Yeah.
So on to
Charges and combat.
yes, which I think
Time to dance.
will be some bad things for the guard.
Do you not like barn dancing?
Not particularly. My men are more river dance.
Okay.
So, end of Harlequin turn 2 and their charge phase summary. What happened, Tom?
So over here, I use the Kiss of Death strategy on the Harlequin players that remained. Unfortunately, they rolled really badly to wound against the
mighty Bulgrin.
Yeah, against like the Bulgrin sergeants. They got 1 mortal, and then I think 1 wound did go through. So the Shadows here had to bonk him on the head to get rid of him.
Yeah.
But they did get rid of him. The Troopmaster charged into this squad here, and he had a bit of a fluffed roll.
He still killed 5 of them.
Yeah. But I worked out because there was 9 of them left in the squad, and he gets 6 attacks, and then he can do 3 mortal wounds with his relic. So I was like, oh, he can kill all 9, but unfortunately he hasn't, which, because they're now OBSEC, that means where they've piled in, Guard now hold that objective, which is a bit annoying, but it's fine, you know.
Your boat rammed me.
Yeah, boat just bumped into the Taurox. Did a wound. This was exciting. You did the defensive gunners.
I did.
And this Starweaver here has now just got 1 wound left. I had to use a couple of luck rerolls to keep that alive, actually.
Yeah.
So the tank just turned around and blasted him. Then the Solitaire ran in, did 7 7 damage to him. The Skyweavers jumped down the building into the conscripts.
Where are the conscripts?
Well, they're dead. You see, they're sliced in half. They're beheaded.
Yeah. They were like, we've claimed the objective, and then out of the sky it just dropped.
They didn't see the circus above them that's come down to play. So I think there were 7 conscripts left, wasn't there?
Yeah.
But they failed their morale.
I don't really blame them.
And then we just had a Void Weaver down, not Void Weaver, the Star Weaver around the bend, just like ran over one guardsman.
Yeah, rammed him in the head, and they failed to do anything back. Yeah, all of my close combat failed in retaliation. Unsurprising.
Yeah.
Really.
Well, you only dedicated units to Bulgrin, and by the time I got to them, only having 1 left, they're not going to do a lot.
No. So now we're on to turn.
We've got to work out how many points.
Oh yes, points.
So you scored some points as well, actually.
Yes. So
when your Chimera blew up, you killed some of my stuff.
I think the Chimera did more damage, you were saying, in death than it did in life.
Yeah.
So we have scored no prisoners for 5 points, which was kill 30 wounds worth of models. What have you scored?
So I scored overwhelming firepower, so another 5 points for that. Technically scored that halfway through my turn, but never mind. So I got 15 secondary points so far, and then I also got No Man's Land because I was trying to get that objective there, because that's why I was umming and ahhing in my shooting phase whether to shoot some of my boats at that squad there, but then I wanted to use them on the charge to move onto that objective and hopefully kill them.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen, but luckily I managed to clear the conscript blob. So we hold 2 objectives in No Man's Land, so we get that one as well, taking me on to 20 secondary points. And then I realised halfway through my turn that I'm never really going to have a unit just chilling in the middle of the board that can do that action, because I don't have many. I've only got like 3 units of troops left, so I don't really want to waste them
just sitting around,
sitting in the middle, or waste a character. So I'm going to discard Investigate Site.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So on to my turn.
Guard turn 2. Yeah.
So at the start of my command phase, I have scored 10 primary points, and I've got 15 secondary so far. Tom has 12 primary.
I've lied.
Why have you done that?
You claimed that objective of your mortars, didn't you, for the action?
Yeah.
So you've also got 12 primary points.
Oh, well.
So you have 27?
No.
So yeah, I've just got 1 more secondary than you.
Right. So I've got 27 and you've got 32. Right. And I've drawn new secondary objectives. Defend strongholds, which is hold my own one, which is that one. And the following turn. Yeah. And then capture enemy outposts, which is the one in the building at the very far corner, which is unlikely because it's miles away.
Yeah, those objectives aren't very nice to you.
And then area denial, which is there be no Harlequins in the middle of the board, which is exactly where they are. So that's not ideal. But I don't want to waste my CP getting rid of them, because I will be sending in the next wave of the men I care greatly about.
You see, killbots have a preset kill limit. Knowing their weakness, I sent wave after wave of my own men at them until they reached their limit and shut down. Kif, show them the medal I won.
It's my turn to movement summary. I have moved Lurpack heroically towards Tom's Warlord, and I think there's going to be a little bit of single combat going on over there. Down here I have brought in the next wave of conscripts, so they can hold my objective. This Taurox has stayed in combat, so I can just shoot at the gunboat. This Lehman Russ has also stayed in combat so that I can do some shooting. Infantry squad stayed where it is because it's going to try and kill some of these floaty boys. And this infantry squad has stayed in the building, and so has my Lehman Russ. In the alleyway, this infantry squad's moved up along with platoon commander Gibb, and this infantry squad has fallen back out of combat from this boat and moved on to the objective. So not quite a retreat, but still rather cowardly. I think that's everything, isn't it? So on to orders and shooting. So, summary of my turn to shooting. I did an order with Lurpack into this little combat and told them to fix bayonets. And they proceeded to stab your chap a couple of times, didn't they?
Yeah, did a couple of wounds, and I think the sergeant, the power sword from the sergeant, did an actual wound, like damage.
Yeah, so not too bad. He then told the boys in the building to do first rank, second rank fire into where the Starweavers were.
Skyweavers?
Close enough.
Don't know how you can't get the names right.
They did a bit of damage. I think they killed one.
I think they killed, there was one-on-one wound, they killed him, and then they killed, they basically killed 2 bikes, but one had only 1 wound remaining, if I recall.
Then other order we did with Commander Gibb. He told the men who fell out of the combat to get back in the fight, and they shot at the Starweaver and did a bit of damage with their las guns, which wasn't too shabby. Then the men down here also shot into the Starweaver, and
they popped it, didn't they?
I think it was the... oh, no, yeah, they did.
No, because they shot and killed,
killed
the troops, right?
Yeah, the infantry managed to make the Starweaver explode. Well, it didn't explode. It just destroyed.
Yeah, wrecked, destroyed,
and then
kaput.
This infantry squad shot a missile and some las guns at the friends that got out and killed them all, didn't it?
It wasn't very nice, Liam, was it?
No, I rolled quite well.
I spent ages getting them out, so, you know, they were in correct positions and near the objective and stuff. And then you stood there and you killed them all. Yeah. It's quite funny. It's the auto wound to 6s now.
Yeah.
Just rapid firing las guns.
Las guns
just seem to do like a ridiculous amount of wounds.
If you're doing first rank, second rank fire with a las gun, that's 3 shots you're getting per man.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good. Then with my Lehman Russ, I shot into the Starweavers and finished the rest of them off with some quite good rolling. It was quite a lot.
Yeah,
of
I think you killed all 3 of them in like your first salvo of 20 shots from the turret. I think they were gone.
It's that also wounding again, wasn't it? Then I shot this Lehman Russ in close combat at the Starweaver and also at the Solitaire. I split my fire, the heavy bolters on the Starweaver, and that exploded, which then did 2 wounds to my tank, which isn't great. 1 to your
I think
Solitaire?
1 to the Solitaire, yeah.
And then it also killed a bloke in the building.
Yeah, we were joking because where I've been sitting down in the corner, I can't actually see that squad in the building, so I've been ignoring them. But they're also really not near any objectives, they're just chilling.
In the
but
building.
they've been near 2 vehicles that have exploded and been killed by them.
They lost 4 men to vehicle
explosions. Yeah. Other than that, they've been having a pretty good time.
So, the real shock of this turn was my mortars lobbing some shells over to by where his Spirit Seer?
What?
What are they called?
Spirit Seer's Eldari.
What's that?
That is a Shadow Seer, mate. I don't know how How you could get a Shadow Seer and a Spirit Seer confused, I have no idea.
Preposterous, I know. So, my mortars lobbed some shells over towards the friends that were next to the Shadow Seer and managed to kill them all. It's the first time my mortars have actually killed anything.
Well, I felt a bit bad because you were going to shoot at the guys on my home objective.
Yeah.
And then I said, oh, don't do that because they're going to stay there. Kill the three that are there that could intervene in this half of the board.
Damage.
And then I forgot the Shadow Seer gives the -1 wound aura to core units. And I was like, oh no, like the mortars are a bit rubbish. They might not actually kill them, but they did. So that was all right. And now suddenly there's this huge chunk of men to deal with down here.
My boys.
Yeah.
The Torok shot into this Starweaver, and I can't actually read. 4.
I think it did 2 wounds.
Yeah, so it's got 4 left.
Yeah.
And that's it. That was all my shooting, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty impressive, I think, actually.
Yeah, not too shabby.
I've
really.
not got anything, not got any models left.
Getting rid of those bikes was a big help because I think they would have zoomed off and killed lots of people.
Yeah, I like the bikes. I mean, I'm hoping I can get rid of your vehicles now, but
yeah, I think this Lima Rust is going to disappear, and my Taurox over there is also in trouble, and over there Lurpack is heroically charging in, so I have great ambitions for him, because the 2 warlords will be facing off.
Careful though, because I've got a prickly coat.
Do you?
So watch out. Yeah.
I have a blade of conquest.
Like, have you read the book? Do you remember Into the Deep Woods?
No.
The Edge Chronicles. There was like a special coat.
Right.
And if you stroked it one way, it was really soft and nice. If you stroked it the other way, it like stabbed you.
Is that what you're wearing?
That's what I'm wearing, yeah.
Well, I think Lurpack might avoid stroking your warlord.
Well, I've got a caress.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Caress me with your coat.
Yeah.
But we'll see how that goes. So, on to charging.
Yeah, combat.
My turn to charge.
Combat. Fight, morale. All in one.
Yes. So, a lot happened. Lurpack and the squad tried to fight your warlord and got absolutely decimated. You played,
I told you.
A stratagem.
I played 2 stratagems.
Made you harder to hit.
Yeah.
So it meant Lurpack missed all of his attacks, which was sad.
I thought it was quite good.
Over here, you blew up my tank in combat, and my infantry squad from that building charged in to try and finish you off, but failed. Over here, we did 1 damage to each other, just shunting back and forth. I tried to charge down the alleyway to the one friend many miles away, but I failed.
Yep, he's just over there on his jack, but he's doing fine.
And that's pretty much it. In the morale, my squad that was fighting the warlord, there was just a sergeant left, and he decided, I don't want to be here anymore. And he went
He'd had
home.
enough.
And that is the end of my turn 2. So pretty catastrophic for me. Oh, yeah.
Oh no, you don't score anything, do you?
I don't know.
Because that's at the end of my turn.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to discard... You said you discard that.
Yes, because I don't want to go near your outposts.
You're going to discard that, and then potentially you can score that. Because we thought this was going to be really hard, because I had a lot of stuff.
Yes.
But now suddenly the only thing I've got there is a few characters wandering about.
We don't really have much left, do we?
No. I've got...
So do I draw a new one now?
No, it's in your... Whoa. It's in your command phase. You draw a new one, you pest.
Oh, someone's moved my primary points.
I wonder who did that.
Someone's moved yours as well.
Oh, they have? Dear, oh dear. I can't remember how many I had. I had 20.
Your primary?
I had 5. That's my secondary.
Oh, okay.
Because I had 5 more than you.
Right.
Yeah, I guess...
Onto your...
Yeah, I can't believe how little things we have left.
I've got nothing!
But yeah,
It's
turn
been
3 with about 5
absolute
models.
devastating. As you can see from all the smoke plumes, there has been many vehicle explosions.
I'm surprised how hard you hit me back, because I thought after taking out a few of your tanks and tied them up in combat, I thought it would have been alright.
I think it was the lasgun, the humble lasgun that saved me.
Well, actually, to be fair, like a lasgun in the lore, like blasts a metre wide hole through concrete or something, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a pretty devastating weapon, just next to like a bolter, which is like we were saying,
Or a
fires,
strange
like, grenades
elven stroke.
essentially.
You know?
Yeah. Right, turn 3.
Yeah,
here
let's
we
crack
come.
on. So I got 12 more points for primary because I held 2 objectives and I've got a claimed objective. So that takes me on to 24 primary points and 20 secondary points. And then I got tempting target, and then Liam's picked the objective right over the back that I have 1 Harlequin on. So that's potentially going to be difficult to hold that.
By the
Unless one Harlequin can kill a whole squad of guardsmen. Which is
impossible.
Yeah, not impossible. Then we got battlefield supremacy, which is controlling 3 objective markers, which I currently do, and controlling more than Liam. And then I got deploy teleport Homer, which is sticking action down in no man's land. No, sorry, in my opponent's deployment zone. So I might get that, because if I just have something hanging loose,
you might be
then
able
we'll know. Yeah, but I think I can definitely score those 2. I might be able to score those ones. The Void Weaver that was here, the troop squad has jumped out. So that's my last squad of troops. They're hopefully going to blow up this Taurox with their fusion pistols and then charge the conscripts. Because Liam's got defend stronghold, which is holding his home objective.
Hold the line.
So if we can get rid of that, that's grand. The troop masters come over. He's within 6 inches of this Taurox, so he can shoot it with his fusion pistol as well, and then hopefully charge over here. The Shadow Seer's just moved up to hold that objective, and then my Star Weaver's jumped over into the middle, so she's holding the middle one. Star Weaver's over there.
This Star Weaver.
Holding the middle objective, and then that also stops Liam's area denial.
How rude.
But he can blow that up because he killed 2 of them last turn. And then the Solitaires come over here to charge into that building. But obviously I'm that side of the wall, so I can't be shot with Overwatch, because that did a lot of damage last time.
And then you got one friend.
Yeah, he stayed there because I'm going to shoot you with the fusion pistol and then kill 9 I was going to say Marines then. Kill
They are
if you
Marines.
had they could be Marines, but not Space Marines. Yeah.
So Harlequin turn 3 shooting. What went down?
We had an excellent array. We did wizards as well.
Yeah,
did we talk about the wizards?
We didn't talk about the wizards.
No, the wizards was very exciting. So did not Veil of Tears, Mists, something? What's that spell called? The one when you roll off to do mortals, did that on the Taurox, did 2 mortal wounds, but then Liam won the roll off on his first roll with a 6, which is
Christ. Very unusual.
Very unusual indeed. That's fine. Then we tried to smite the small squad of guardsmen in the middle and failed to smite. Then we tried to shoot them with our hallucinogenic grenade launcher, and she missed all of her shots with a hallucinogenic grenade launcher. So that Shadow Seer has done marvellously. Then we moved over here. So the Troop Master started from Fashion. He did 6 damage, I think, to... Yeah, because it was on 8. No, he did 5 damage after the mortal wounds to leave it on 1, which is the classic. I seem to always leave Liam's tanks on like 1 wound left. So now I split fire with these guys, fusion pistols into the Taurox, shuriken pistols into the conscripts. Shuriken pistols killed 2 conscripts, but the fusion pistols, I rolled snake eyes for their to hit rolls.
Very nice.
They were wide of the mark. More so, I could have killed the Taurox, I suppose, but more so thinking about getting rid of troops for
claiming
objectives and obsec and that sort of thing. So the Starweaver shot into the small guard squad that was left because I thought it might get rid of it, but they only did one wound, I think, didn't it? Oh no, it killed the Voxcaster.
Killed the Voxcaster
and it's killed one of the
to the heavy weapon team.
And then the
Lonely Friend.
Yeah, the Lone Ranger over here, the Lone Clown.
He's got no friends.
He just blasted a guy. He's got no friends.
You've got no friends.
Well, you wouldn't have any friends if you didn't keep us in the basement.
This is true.
Yeah, he just blasted a guardsman in the face with his fusion pistol, and now he's going to kill them in combat.
Right. You can leave when you want to, Tom. You just got to figure out.
You said that last month.
Unlock the door. So this was Harlequin combat turn 3.
Should we just do the combat and the summary? Because it all sort of happened at once.
What summary?
Of the turns and the points that have been scored.
Yes.
I've scored some points.
You have scored some points.
We've all scored some points.
Lots of
and
points for
prizes,
everyone.
But you have burnt down my circus, so there's no prizes, you know. The big pink teddy bear that we were fighting for is gone now. It's in ashes.
Up in flames.
Yeah. Right, so...
Where do you want to start?
Where have 2 of my guys gone? Did you kill them on Overwatch?
I killed them in Overwatch.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So my lads charged in. Overwatch from the conscripts. Plucked off 2. It was quite funny actually because you forgot they had rapid fire.
Yeah, I rolled 18 dice.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I missed everything. And then I was like, oh no, they get to shoot again.
And then you got the auto wounds and 2 died.
Yeah.
Why didn't I use my luck rerolls to save them?
You don't care about your men.
No, clearly not. Although you still got your turn of shooting at me. Anyway, so I used the kiss stratagem. So my Harlequins gave the conscripts lots of kisses, and we killed 8 in combat, I think.
Kissed 8 of my men to death.
Yeah, and then the troop master joined in. He wiped the mortar team quite efficiently.
Yes.
And then his relic did mortals to the conscripts. But the conscripts passed morale on a 1, natural 1. So they have stayed and they've held that objective, which is actually really important. Because that helps Liam with all his points.
Indeed.
And his secondaries. That's good. The Solitaire blew up
my tank commander.
Blew up the tank commander finally, and then he jumped up to consolidate into the squad above him. Just to limit what they can do next turn, really. They wounded him twice, but I failed actually, but then I used the luck rerolls. I remembered, the rules. And then the Lone Ranger over here, he I think he killed 2, didn't he?
We shot 1 in the head.
He shot 1 in the head. He charged.
And
he killed 2. He killed 2, but then you've passed your morale, and I don't think you obviously didn't wound him back.
No, it was pretty poor actually.
I think you wounded him, and I used a luck reroll. He's still standing. So I've scored a tempting target. No, I don't hold that, do I?
What's that?
You've got more men because they didn't run away.
I mosh pitted you.
My plan to kill 9 guardsmen with the 4 attacks didn't work.
You killed 3. That's not.
Well, 1 was a gun though. 1 was a pew pew.
It doesn't
whatever
count.
noise. What noise does a fusion gun make?
Pop.
It melts them or whatever. Well, so I don't score that actually. I do score Battlefield Supremacy. So that means I've now got 25 points on my secondaries, and I don't score Teleport Homer. I'm going to discard Teleport Homer because I don't want to waste somebody doing an action.
Are you sure? It's quite important to set up Teleport Homers.
We don't need it, mate. We've got the webway.
Oh, that's true.
It's like a fantastic motorway system. And then you scored Defend Stronghold.
I did, yeah.
So you've
the conscripts, MVPs, as always.
You got 20 secondary points as well. So the score's really close, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess we'll see what happens in Guard turn 3. Although neither of us have anything left.
Yeah, it's pretty bare. There's a graveyard of burning tank. Imperial Guard turn 3 movement. I've moved my Taurox up, that's on 1 wound, to try and machine gun down the floaty man, woman. Then I've pulled my conscripts out of combat. They're still holding the objective, but their days are numbered. These guys have moved down to try and get a few shots and get a lucky kill on Tom's Warlord. You never know. This squad has moved up to take the objective in the ruins, and they're going to try and blow up the Star Weaver. We shall see how that goes. And then these guys in the building have pulled back out of combat with the Solitaire and are going to try and fight him. Commander Gibb down there, you can't see him because it's so dark. There he is. He is going to stay where he is and try and do some orders on the Voxcasters to this squad. And the squad over here has pulled back out of combat with the friend, and they're going to try and do some mean things to him. On to our orders and shooting. In my command phase, I drew overwhelming firepower, which was kill 3 things in ranged. I killed 1. I didn't kill any characters.
No.
And I need to blow up the Star Weaver with a mass bayonet charge in the building. Guard shooting. I did some orders with Commander Gibb. Told both of these units to pull back and shoot. This unit shot at the Solitaire. Wounded him, but you saved them. So a bit concerning. Down here, my boys killed your friend, which is quite good. And down here, my guys shot into the Star Weaver and did 2 wounds, so it's only got 1 remaining. These guys shot into your Warlord, did some wounds, but you saved them. And the Taurox unleashed some Gatling into your Shadowseer, but I think you saved them all, didn't you?
I had 7 luck rerolls this turn, and I saved all of them for save rolls on your turn. And I've used 5 of those to keep my characters alive, just because
worthwhile.
You having assassination and overwhelming firepower.
Yeah, that could have.
So the fact that I had like these isolated characters dotted about meant you could just sort of pick them off with a squad at a time. But luckily, I think I rolled quite well anyway for the invuns. Like, you did do quite a few wounds.
Yeah.
But I rolled well on the invuns, and then stuff that I dropped, I did use the luck rerolls. I tried to use I think I used 2 luck rolls on the Star Weaver, but I think they both went through. Yeah. It's the opposite of what Chegarak's meant to be doing, so never mind.
So there's going to be some charges. Let's do those and come back. So, Imperial Guard combat summary. My infantry squad heroically charged in and did 1 wound against Tom's Warlord, but he's still alive on 1 wound. And then his resulting counterattack killed all the men and also killed 3 guys from the conscript squad. And then 3 of them decided, actually, let's go, and left behind the very brave Flagman to try and hold the objective.
If anyone can hold the objective.
It is the Flagman, yeah. Over here, there was a mass bayonet charge, and even the platoon commander tried to bring down the Star Weaver, which is on but 1 wound. However, I failed, and you managed to kill 3 guardsmen in response to your Star Weaver.
I was surprised. I thought that charge would just like weight of attacks, rather than inequality. But I thought they would probably kill it. Yeah,
I was hopeful, but it is not to be. So they are still there. So now on to Harlequin turn 4.
Back up to 2CP, so I'm going to keep tempting target because I can jump my Void Weaver over there now. Capture enemy outpost, so if I control the marker in your deployment zone.
Oh dear.
So I'm pretty confident I can do that. And then
This is
storm
looking bad
hostile
for me.
objective. Control one or more objective markers that were controlled by your opponent. Opponent did not control any objective markers, and you control the objective marker in your opponent's deployment zone. Okay, that's fine, because I was planning on taking that one, and I'm planning on killing that conscript.
So you can do all three of those.
So I can do all three. And then primaries for turn 4, I've got one. That's now contested. You now hold that. So I only have one objective, so I only get 5 primary points. So that puts me up to... yeah, because the score was it... Oh no, the score's changed now. I was thinking it was 32-27, but I think that was after turn 1. That was like after turn 2, wasn't it? So I'm on 29 primary now, 25 secondary.
I'm on 24 primary and 20 secondary.
Yeah, still pretty close. But yeah, that turn really could have sealed the game for you, but
yeah,
fortunately it didn't quite come off.
No, I need to try and...
Fortunate for me.
Yeah, bring it back.
Yeah, we'll see what happens in my turn 4 then, I guess.
Yes. So, Harlequin, turn 4, movement and psychic.
And shooting. And charging.
Shooting, and it's all gone into one. We don't
Yeah,
have much left.
yeah,
So it's pretty quick.
And in fact, I think I did half of it outside the wrong order anyway. So we had much excitement over here on this objective. I was like, oh, the psychic will just smite the 1 wound Torok, so he perils on a double 1. So I luck re-roll it, and I get a double 6. So he blows himself up. So he's been very good this game. He's been a most impressive wizard.
And we figured out that actually gave me the assassination.
Yeah, because it just says model is destroyed. It doesn't say
I have to
you have to kill it. So we figured Liam scores assassination for that.
Your guys over here have moved on the objective.
Yeah, they just strolled onto the objective.
And casually shot my
just, obliterated the conscripts.
Your guy...
The solitaires jumped back into the squad up there. Yes, he's charged into the remainder of that squad, and then the is it platoon commander?
Yeah, platoon commander Gibb.
He has only got 1 wound left, so this could be a last hurrah for the veiled king.
He's done well so far. And then over here, you shot with your Starweaver into this little ragtag group of men, and now you've charged in. So let's see what happens. Result of the combat in the building, I did another wound, didn't I? And you saved it. That's right, isn't it? So you're down to 1.
Yeah, you did wound me, but I used a luck reroll to block it as my first invuln failed.
Up here, your solitaire just absolutely butchered my guards.
Yeah, 8 straight dead, and the other 2 ran away.
And then over here, your annoying Starweaver that won't die killed the remaining guardsmen.
Yep. Yeah, I think the troop master wounded your... I split his attacks to try and kill the squad and kill the guy.
Platoon
commander.
Gibb.
That's the one. Might be getting a promotion if he holds the line.
He's got to survive.
But yeah, he passed all of his invuns, didn't he?
Yeah.
I did like 3 wounds to him. He passed all of his invuns, and I think I killed 3 or 4 of your troops, but their morale wasn't too bad, so they're still holding that objective, which is quite important.
Away. So on to my turn. Oh yeah, let's do objectives.
So you scored assassinate because one of my characters died.
Yeah.
Even if it was like myself that killed him, and then I scored all 3 of my secondaries.
So 15 more.
So I get 15 more points, which takes me up to 40 points for secondaries.
It's a lot.
Mm.
Imperial Guard.
Should we talk about
what? How bad that was?
No. Should we talk about the excellent plan we had?
Oh, the grand strategy was the Taurox was going to shoot and kill all 3 friends. As you can see, this may have fallen apart. over here, Platoon Commander Gibb was going to heroically shoot the Warlord in the face with a las
Yeah, because
pistol.
I get to strike first in combat. So you was going to blast me in the face with your las pistol.
These two chaps were tasked with destroying the Star Weaver with plasma weaponry.
Yeah, the plasma crew.
However, they missed all of their shots and then failed to wound as well with the ones that did hit. So yeah, the Taurox killed one friend. Bit underwhelming, really. And you slapped about Platoon Commander Gibb in combat.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was one casualty all in my turn. Not ideal. So now on to Harlequin turn 5.
Yeah, so the score at the end of turn 4
Oh, yes.
is I have 31 primary points. How do I have 31? I must have 32. Because you can only score...
You can't have
You can only
odd
score
numbers,
5s and 2s.
yeah.
So I've got 32 primary. Liam's got 34 primary, so he's actually ahead on the primaries. But I've got 40 secondary. Liam's got 25 secondary.
Yeah, steamed ahead of
There's 2
me.
guardsmen left. Level 5. Area denial. Okay, I get that. Assassination, I can't score that. Blood and guts, I'm not going to be able to do that. Right.
So, at the end of Harlequin turn 5, and the end of the game,
Subsequently, yeah.
what happened? Your Warlord mercilessly butchered my 2 remaining guardsmen. He shot one in the head and then murderized.
Yeah, I
the
think they
second
were,
one.
they were concentrating on trying to shoot that Void Weaver.
Yeah.
They were like, we must score overwhelming firepower. So he just, walked in and finished them off.
And then your friends have finally stopped the Taurox from driving round.
Yeah.
And then you solitaires on that objective.
Yeah, he just jumped down there.
And your Star Weaver on 1 wound, still alive, is over the back here on that objective.
But then should we look at the MVPs? Yeah, there they are down there. If you can see them.
Where are they?
There they are.
There they are. The cowardly boys at the back.
I mean, they've score me like 25 points every time.
Yeah, they've
game.
done the hard work, really.
Yeah.
But no, good game. It was good to play against the Harlequins. They're a lot of fun. They're just terrifying how quick they can move around the board.
I really like using them. They're really fun. They can move really quickly. They're good at shooting. They're good at combat. They can be good at psychic, but I think I don't know if the psycho I bought today was like a trainee or something, because he didn't seem to do
Killed
very well.
himself.
Yeah, I think he was he was really annoyed. He was like, I failed to cast so many powers. I've been out of range. He tried to channel all his energy, and then he just popped his own head open. But what was the final scores at the end?
Yes, what was the final score? So I had 34 and 25 primary. So, mathematician Tom.
The other way round. You had 34 primary and 25 secondary.
25 secondary.
How can you not understand this really easy dice system we've got?
Look at the chaos.
What's that, 59?
Yes, I will agree with whatever number you say.
59.
59. That seems a lot until we look at Tom's result. He's got 44.
That was like only the
primary.
last 2 turns, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, 44 primary and 45 secondary. So what's that, 99, isn't it? 99
Yes.
to 59. To be honest though, the primary scores were exactly the same.
Yeah.
You were actually in the lead on primaries
Yeah.
until your turn 5 when you couldn't score because you had
Everyone
no models left.
died.
We made it through, Kif. How many men did we lose?
All of them.
Well, at least they won't have to mourn each other.
But no, very close game, which is always good. And thanks for coming to the basement.
No problem.
And you're allowed to leave now.
Oh, excellent.
And yeah, see you in the next one. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed. If you've made it this far, then you deserve a medal, because listening to me and Tom ramble is no easy job, as I found out from editing this video. I'll see you in 2 weeks on Sunday for another video where I'll be finishing off my 40k board build. So hopefully see you then. Bye. Bye. Hello and welcome to another episode.
Carry on. Yes, please.
In today's episode, we shall be delving into the dark depths of the Warhammer 40k.